Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. So that I'm looking at some older Hasbro figures from Incredible Hulk. The one is this one with Edward Norton? It's the one with Tim Roth anyway, who played became Abomination in that movie. So looking at Hulk, Abomination, the character Tim Roth played, and 3 soldiers and their weapons. These are from 2007, so Hasbro 2007. If we are 2022, that's 15 years ago. These are 15 years old now. I'm more really interested in the soldiers and sort of Abomination, not so much Hulk. But we'll have a look at all of them and we'll set the lights. So let's turn the camera around and let's get into this. So here they are, the 3 troopers, the Colonel, Commander, Sergeant, Captain, whatever his rank is, I can't remember, Hulk and Abomination. Let's look at the character that Tim Roth played first, this figure here. All these figures are typical of the older sort of G.I. Joe style figures. You see the joint in the shoulder, the simple elbow joint here with a turn. The sculpting gets in the way of the legs, but you can see the same metal attachment we're used to there. Single kneecap, nothing in the ankles whatsoever, nothing in the wrists. Left, right heads, no. Well, tiny movement, not really up and down. Struggles to stand up, looks nothing like the character in the actual movie, but a nice looking figure, I have to say. And obviously going to be slightly small, being on the older side. We look at the troopers, they're identical but have different weapons. This first one here, what gun is that? I always thought that those rotating barrels are at the bottom. Maybe it's a special Hulk gun or something, I don't know, but can't hold the guns particularly well. He looks quite broad, but he's absolutely flat-chested. Look at that. There's no depth to his chest at all. This is not lifting heavy. Similar articulation, left, right. He does have some movement left side to side and up and down, but not really. All the way around. Up is pretty good. Simple bicep. Hips, much better than the Commander because they have that sculpt or the jacket getting in the way. Single kneecap and then nothing in the ankles, but I think it look good. Now look nice, I say. What's interesting, if you look here, if you can see behind, they've actually got sculpting under the helmet. You can see some hair, there is an ear, but the helmets are stuck on and there's nothing painted underneath. So I suspect they've taken an existing head sculpt and just stuck a helmet underneath. However, I could be wrong. You could force it off. I think it's probably glued in place, but you risk breaking the helmet, and it's not easy to get anymore. But I might be tempted because the helmets are pretty cool, actually, all things considered. So that's an interesting point. The other 2 guys have the same articulation. Let's put them down. Just that their guns are different. So here's his gun, like an M16 with grenade launcher, looks like. And then this guy's got the classic sort of M16 maybe, with the all the ammunition coming out there. Let's look at the big boys. So look at Hulk first of all. He's got this button on his back, which makes him clap them cheeks. Well, no, he can spank your ass. Oh, yeah. He's clapping, and that's such a good review, such a good video. What's interesting is you can still pose him in different positions, and he'll still clap, just slightly differently. Didn't buy this for Hulk, but I had to get him so he came with one of the figures that I wanted. So his arms do go all the way around. There is motion on the shoulders there, but obviously the spring mechanism gets in the way. Bicep bend is good that way. Why is it so good reverse but not forward? So funny, huh? It should be that way, but they've got it the wrong way around for his hand. Look at that broken arm. Other side is the same. The bicep should be better that way. Oh, that one's okay. Nothing waist. Hips go out pretty well. Forwards is pretty much, you've got to line up the joints. I hate these hips. Forwards is okay if you line up, and backwards is okay. Knee, there is tiny knee, and there is a foot turn. There is a tippy toe. There is dorsiflexation, but there's no swivel. Then lastly, Abomination, who I think looks pretty cool. Very much like an Abomination, like a monster. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you Hulk's head. So Hulk's head has left to right, small up and down, and he has not really side to side. Abomination, he has, let's get my head to see, he can look left and right, there is no side to side, and there is no up and down. These spines on his back pop out if you lean him forwards. Shoulders only go thus far, not even 180. They do go all the way around. Bicep bend is tiny. This on his right, this on his left. Waist he can turn all the way around, which is good. Hips, pretty good. Forwards, no. Back, if you got line the hips up again, I hate that. Okay. Line the hips up, and then backwards is great, and forwards is pretty good. Knee bend is going to be tiny. Single kneecap, very chunky. But he does have pretty good looking ankles. Look at that. That's like not even tippy toe. That is tippy toe. Tippy on single toe each foot. His dorsiflexation, his Michael Jackson, is pretty much non-existent. But he's a mean looking figure, and he's so easy to stand up with those huge feet. So what do I think? Is it worth trying to track down more of these guys to troop builders? If I could find them cheap, I'd be tempted to take the helmets off. But these guys, I paid like £20, probably £40 for all of this, which is not a great deal if I'm honest. But I want to see what they were like. If I could find some for cheap, I'd get, and I'd take the helmet off, because that, you see that helmet's even moving there. If I look underneath, I can see, you know what? I'm here, I'm now. This is a review. Let me see if I can peel off from behind the camera, since I need a bit more space, and I've got some pliers here with me. Let's see if there is anything underneath. There is a face underneath. Okay, there we go. So let's have a look at what we've got underneath. We have a face. Let me get a bit of a focus. That's the Colonel. That's the Colonel. There's the Colonel's face underneath. Or is it the General? Is it General Ross? What's his name? That's like his face. And now I've got a helmet. Oops, which I should have dropped. Now I've got a helmet which I can fit over a small-headed figure again. Just glued on the top there. They're just trying to hide that because they just reused the Colonel's head. I wish they didn't. I didn't glue it, I should say, because that's quite nice to have additional helmets you can use. Pretty cool. Let me just stand them up, and then we get a proper comparison with a modern or moderner or more modern, whichever phrase you want to use. 1/18 scale. Well, not really 1/18 scale. 4-inch would be better. 4-inch action figure. Come on. Come to Papa. Stand up. Okay, let's put him over here. He's the least likely to stand up. This guy here, he likes to fall over. Okay. And the last one with the gun, I'll stick over here. So first, let me see if I've got any regular... Okay. So this is a smaller figure. I use a Star Wars Vintage Collection figure. And you see that compared to Vintage Collection, they scale perfectly well. If I get a Fortnite figure, they still scale okay, but they're looking a bit small. If I get a taller figure, let me see, I will use a Chitauri. Where's he going to fit? Stick him over here. And now they're looking a bit on the small side. This guy I will review in a couple of days with the Cosmic War Chariot Invasion, with Invasion set. The problem with the figures is they lack depth in chest. They're so narrow this way. They really are quite narrow. But decent enough. If you're into the older style figures and you really want to pick up some of these because they are pretty cool, If not, I wouldn't advise it unless they're cheap, or if you really want the helmets or a helmet, because the helmets are pretty cool too, quite versatile. Okay, so Awesome Action Toys signing out, saying please like, share, subscribe, click the notification icon, and check out the latest videos in my channel, and watch out for latest news, reviews, videos, etc. Stay happy collecting. Bye bye.